Hello everybody and welcome back to the Leeds Lens for your Leeds United versus West Ham preview. It's a massive game for the Whites on Friday night, of course, having coming off a 2-0 loss to Burnley. So we're looking at Daniel Farke's press conference, what he said there, the team news that we expect for the game. Then I'm looking at the changes that I would make to the lineup, and we're going to be looking at how this Leeds United team can overcome West Ham. And finally, we're going to look at the score prediction for the game on Friday night at Elland Road as well. So quite a bumper preview for you today. Hope you all enjoy, and let's get into the video. So, what did we learn in Daniel Farke's press conference then? Well, he spoke yesterday and he talked about 5 key players that could be missing for Leeds United's clash with West Ham. And they are Pascal Struijk, Ethan Ampadu, Gnonto, Okafor, and of course Dan James, because he was only an emergency sub against Burnley, so he could struggle to play 90 minutes as well for Friday, but you would expect to be in the squad. So, how will Daniel Farke set up then? Well, I think there will be a few changes for this one. Poor result against Burnley, poor result against Spurs, even though the performance was good. So I do think it's time for some changes. I think there's some players sort of itching to get into this 11 now, so I do think there'll be changes. But in goal, I think he'll stay put. I know I would probably bring Perry in now, but I think he will stick with Darlow. Obviously, Bogle will start right back. I think that goes without saying. Rodon will start centre back. And this is where I think the first change will come. I do think we'll see a Premier League debut for Jacobiol in this one. Struijk's obviously struggling with an injury at this moment in time. He said he was he's not going to play all 5 of the sort of injured crew as such. So I think Biol will be one that replaces Pascal Struijk for this one. I also think Pascal hasn't played as well in recent weeks, so it's probably time now. Goodmanson will obviously start left back. I think that goes without saying. I do think Ampadu will start. So this is one of the sort of injured crew getting into the team finally. When Ampadu's fit, he plays. This has been the common theme with Daniel Farke at Leeds United so far. We even saw it in the Fulham game. He said it'd be a last-minute test, and then next thing you know, he's actually starting against Fulham. So I think he'll play. Longstaff, I think, will keep his shirt as well in the midfield. I think he's been the better of the two between him and Stack, if I'm being totally honest. He's also, from all accounts, not carrying an injury at this moment in time, so I think he will play. However, I think there will be a change in the midfield. I think he will go with Tanaka over Stack. I do. Stack's obviously been struggling with a rib injury, like he mentioned. He's also said that Stack's been struggling with a broken finger, and he also said that Stack's not been playing well last 2 games. And I think you saw with Tanaka when he came on what he can offer this Leeds United team. So I do actually think Tanaka will start this one, but I could be wrong. I think it wouldn't be that surprising if Stack does start, but I do think he will. On the right-hand side, I think James will start. I think James will start on the right-hand side for this one. I really do. Again, I think there'll be a change here. James was good when he came on against Burnley, and I think he was at a lower fitness as well. So I think that's the level that James can get to, and I think pace is something that's going to be massive in this game for Leeds United with the way West Ham set up. So I think James will start. Goes without saying that DCL will start up front. And then the left wing position. And I think this is one of the hardest to predict, like the goalkeeper situation. But I do think if he's going to risk anybody, he might go and risk Noah Okafor, potentially, because I don't think he was that pleased with Harrison or Aronson's performance. I won't be surprised to see Aronson play this one as well. I won't be that surprised actually Okafor stay on the left and Aronson start on the right. His sort of usual setup. But I do think, if I'm guessing, this is the lineup that I think Daniel Farke will go for. In terms of what I would do, though, and the changes I would make, well, like I mentioned, I would go with Perry in goal. I think that is a better alternative to me. We've seen the ceiling of Perry and what he did at Lyon last year. I showed you a stat of the day that sort of in goals prevented. Dal's at currently minus 2.7, which is quite poor, whereas I think Perry was over 5 last year in Ligue 1. So I think he should start, in my opinion. But besides that, this is actually the lineup I would pick. I think this is the perfect lineup after that. I like Tanaka in the midfield. I like the wingers that we're playing at the moment. I would like to play Gnonto. I think he's our best winger. But at sort of not full fitness, I think James is probably more fit than Gnonto, so I would start him. So this would be my lineup for the game. So where do Leeds United need to improve then? Well, I think the obvious thing at this moment in time is the finishing. And this in numbers is awful at this moment in time. Currently, with Leeds United sitting at a conversion rate of 6.7, which is the worst in the whole league. And actually, it gets even worse, because if you look at Leeds United as a football club, this is the worst conversion rate they've had since the 2013-14 season. So it's really, really poor at this moment. But if you want to look at a positive side to this, Leeds United are creating chances. We're actually creating, on average, 13.7 chances per game, which is the best of any newly promoted time since the last time Leeds United got promoted under Marcelo Bielsa in the 2021 season. So the chances are getting there, but we've got to find a way of putting them in the back of the net. So if there's one thing Leeds United to improve, it's definitely that. So, how do Leeds United exploit this West Ham team then? Well, I think this will be the lineup that they go with on Friday night. I do think they'll play with the focal points. I do think Wilson will go up front. Obviously, Paqueta can play in there like he did Friday, but I think they'll go Wilson. The obviously only main absentee from this particular team that I've picked is no Thomas Souček in the midfield, who did play against Brentford on Monday night, but I think he'll miss out on this one particularly. But when I look at this West Ham team, the main thing that I notice, and this is something that everybody noticed with the West Ham team, it's the lack of physicality and the lack of intensity that this team currently provides. You look at that midfield three. Ward-Prowse is not a runner. Paqueta's not a runner. Fernandes can run, but that's not his thing. He likes to get on the ball and sort of dictate plays. Quite a tidy player is Fernandes. So you don't see that power in the midfield. And I think that's the main thing that this West Ham team don't have. So the question is, how do Leeds United exploit that? Well, the way to exploit it is like you do in every single game. Without the ball, you've got to be as compact as humanly possible. Make the game as compact as possible. So you cause loads of duels naturally in the midfield. That's what we want to get. We want Ampadu tight on Paqueta. We want Longstaff tight on Fernandes. We want Tanaka tight on Ward-Prowse. And that will create loads of duels, which I think Leeds United will thrive with. And the other thing is, out of possession, how do Leeds United do it? Well, Leeds United do that by making it as less compact as possible. Make the pitch as wide as possible. Get these West Ham players running. That is the way to do it. And that's what Leeds United need to do. And that is the key exploit that Leeds United need in this game. Create duels by compacting the game and then reverse side, make the pitch as big as possible and create loads of duels. And the final way that we can deal with this West Ham team, like I said actually in the Burnley game, is that physicality. And this is from corners especially that I look at. Like I look at sort of set piece in general. Leeds United should start with Biol or if not Struijk, Rodon. You've got Longstaff on corners and Calvert-Lewin. Whereas you look at this West Ham team, Todibo he's not that fantastic in the air. Neither's Kilman. And then the rest of the team, well, I don't think any of the rest of them is over 6 foot. I think Wan-Bissaka might nearly be there, but not quite. Which again is a huge weakness, this West Ham team. So Leeds United really need to use the physicality to their advantage if they are going to win this one. Anyway, let's move on to score predictions, shall we? So it's prediction time then. How do I expect this game to go? Well, I'm actually going to make a prediction before the actual score prediction. And my prediction is, I think we're going to walk out of Elland Road on Friday night saying Leeds United were the better team. I think that's what we're going to say. I think Leeds United are going to have more shots. I think Leeds United are going to have more possession. But the main thing is, are Leeds United going to walk out with a win? Because regardless if we're saying that, we might not have got the 3 points. And I think against West Ham, more than any other team at this moment in time in the Premier League, this is a team that, yes, they're not playing well at this moment. Yes, they're not a cohesive unit. But one thing they do have is individual quality. You look at the likes of Jarrod Bowen. You look at the likes of Lucas Paquetá and Crysencio Somervilles. These are players with individual brilliance that at any moment can score a goal out of absolutely nothing. So yes, Leeds United might play better on Friday night than West Ham. But we might see West Ham come out with a 2-0 win, where Somerville or Paquetá or Bowen come out with individual brilliance and score a goal. And that is where Leeds United defensively have got to be so sharp in this one, because it looks like a game on paper that should be quite a good game for Leeds United. But with the moments we know they have, it could be really different. But how do I think this game is going to go overall? Well, I think the first goal will be massive. I think the first goal, Leeds United have failed to score the first goal in any game since the first game of the season. It's got to change on Friday night. But I think if we get the first goal, with the form West Ham are in, I think their heads will start to drop. And I think Leeds United will put in a dominant performance and end up coming out on a 2-0 win. So that is my prediction for the game today. I think Leeds United are going to win the game 2-0. Well, I do want to do a few shouts though. I want to say thank you to Elland back again. He always provides the stats for these videos, so definitely check him out on Twitter. And also, if you've got to this point and you have enjoyed my content, if you could drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff massively helps the channel. Because I'm such a small channel, literally every single subscription, like, comment, etc., it means the world and it's so important to the channel. So if you could do that, that would be fantastic. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.